Why, good evening, you beautiful souls. I hope you're having a great day thus far. And this is an incredibly powerful tool, practice of meditation, whatever you really want to call it. And it's all about the emptiness, tapping into the innate peace that's within us. And the most important thing about this evening is showing you that it's always here. It's actually our base state. And one of the goals tonight is, again, to not only get you to experience this piece, but to have that anchor and foundation of bring yourself back to it so we can practice this living meditation. We'll dive into a great question later in this discourse, which I'm excited to cover, because it's all about really tapping into what is already here. So allow yourself to get those last few wiggles out and get comfortable and cozy. And as always, I lovingly invite you into my space of the heart. So go ahead and take a nice deep breath in and a deep exhale. Just start to relax the body. When you hear the next three taps of the bell, with each one, take a deep inhalation. With your exhale, calmly yet powerfully chant an Om and begin to shift your attention, your awareness, your focus towards the sound of your own voice, to the sound of my voice, and simply rest. It's here we remind the body that its sole job is to focus on our breathing, to keep us alive, but most importantly, to relax. Begin to set the intention within your heart that your focus and goal tonight is to simply listen and to allow your awareness to fixate itself upon yourself, the witness. Do not judge yourself if you find the mind wandering, simply bring yourself back. And simply recognize that you are the sky of awareness in any internal phenomena. The mind, the emotions, the physical sensation is but a cloud passing through. You are the unchanging. And with this next tap of the bell, again, shift your attention to the sound of the bowl as it fades into silence. And it's here in this vast space of emptiness, of nothingness, that all is perceived. And just as the law of as above, so below, we recognize that the cosmos is but a vast, empty space, but an ocean filled with life, celestial bodies, and the movement of the stars. So too your consciousness, your sense of self, is this empty space, ever present, all powerful. So, what happens when you give yourself your full attention? As you listen to the sound of my voice, begin to observe the happenings of the body at a distance. Notice how the form takes over and breathes on its own. You need not control it. And the world around you is still in motion, never taking a break for anyone. But it's here in this moment of pause that we let go. It's here we listen to the sounds around us. We observe the sensations within us from this single point of awareness, the listener, the observer, the witness to life's game. You are this window of awareness, and you are all knowing in truth. For you only experience life when you're here. So allow yourself to let go of all expectations, all assumptions, all desires, and simply rest within yourself. Feel the air around you. Feel the energy within you. One can ask themselves, is there any difference in the two? And it matters not what the answer truly is. But the fact is, you feel both. And when you simply remain as you are, this sky of awareness, this window of infinite potential, anything is possible. So let go of the norms and expectations that have been ingrained and sometimes bashed into you. And approach this like a play as you did when you were a child. Begin to fall in love with your own inner looking. And come to understand this is the realm of self-mastery. If the body is antsy, allow it to get its wiggles out. In truth, the body can do whatever it wants to, but hold on to nothing. Separate yourself from this bodily identification, for you are the awareness with the goal of simply resting. Just as you go through the motions every day in various activities, the body can do its own, and you observe. Your mind can be far off in another world, yet here the physical form is going through the monotony. This is but one of many examples that goes to show your true potential. That the happenings here in this physical realm don't take any investment. But what happens when you give your full attention inwards, towards yourself? Again, simply listen to the voice you hear before you. Let go. Fall in love with yourself. And come to understand the true attributes of what you are cannot be defined. Their aroma is only observed. Words cannot contain or define what we truly and fully are. But we find ourselves in the space within. It's this emptiness, yet dynamic fullness. Just as the vastness of space contains the cosmos, the universe itself resides within you, for you are life itself. Anchor yourself in the calm, in the peace, using the breath. Taking in a deep inhalation, slow and long. Draw out this pulling in of life as long as you can. And rhythmically, just as long as you were holding that air, bringing it in, keep it within you before releasing the exhale. Allow the body to become accustomed to this calm and harmony. Just as we train dogs to use the bathroom in various locations, so too you can train the body to pull itself back to this state of harmony, to this knowing of silence. And it's in this stillness in which all is possible. For as above, so below, everything and anything is possible when you give it space. Again, take a long and deep breath, drawing out that air as long as you can, holding it and releasing it just as long. Now, if possible, remain absent of air, holding your breath for again just as long. Condition yourself to come back home to the pureness that is ever present, that is you. When we settle down the internal environment, we're left with what we already are. So many find that this spiritual search is a looking outside of ourselves and questioning. And in truth, many put themselves on this path of a never ending search. But don't overlook the majesty and beauty of what you are. And although we cannot define this emptiness as simply space, for it's observed as this dynamic home of consciousness, this sense of self, this knowing of I am. We are nothing within us, but a window of awareness that allows the flows of life in the universe to express themselves. And again, with that long and rhythmic breathing, take another deep breath here, drawing out that inhalation again as long as you can, holding the breath, exhaling, and holding your breath again just as long. These simple actions allow the body to come back home, to simply melt away any stressors outside of us, any disturbances within us, and to return to that empty space within. When you fall in love with what you are, you may observe the radiating of love, of light, from your chest, the center point, your body. But that is one perfume of many. That is our true aroma. This space is what it's like when you were a child, simply being here in the present moment. fully embracing this slice of now. So allow yourself to be free. Liberate yourself through your own inner looking. Fall in love with the harmony that is ever present. And just as the dust settles, just as the muddy water clears, this act of nothing, this cessation of doing, is the most powerful thing one can do in this experience. For we let go of everything holding us back. We abandon everything keeping us in the past. We turn away from those future games of the imagination and simply remain here in the now, marinating in the pureness of our own being. This love, this light, is but another attribute of what we are. And the beautiful expression of this game called life is that each of us comes to understand the unique ray of the one light shining in each of us. Through your own window of awareness, through your own gaze of perception, you look into and out into this world. You look through the inner space. You look out into the world. But shining through is the same essence within each being and within all life. And when we let go of the distractions around us and we learn and fall in love with the stillness within us, we tap into that energy that connects each and every form of life. This is the love of oneness. This is the love of all. Each being is capable, for we all stem from the same source. So again, take a deep breath here and fill yourself up with that light and love. Simply observing the happenings of the form, the space and the energy around you as you exhale. And again, take another deep breath. It's here we let go, allowing ourselves to be as we are, to dance freely as the beautiful soul and expression of the one we were always intended to be. And here again, we take one more deep breath, envisioning the light filling up each and every cell as it transforms and unfolds us to a new layer and a deeper understanding of who we really are. Come to see the pureness within you. Come to sense the space around. And marinate within yourself. Again, allow yourself to take a long and deep inhalation. Slowly breathing in. And as you feel the body filling up with air and the vital forces of life, notice the difference from the first breaths. For when the body is relaxed and calm, the energy required is minimal. When you remain as you already are, the silence, the emptiness, you're basking in the peace that is you. And it's here you become the master of your own inner space. That no matter the external expression, here within you is the ocean of calm, is that vast space of nothingness. And it's the emptiness in which we know that is the true attribute of what is us inside. That we come to recognize that the light of consciousness shines through, just like the stars in the night sky. To the mind, this stillness, this game of rest may seem boring, but it's here when we let go of everything, the mind silences itself. For that too is but a temporary function. It is but a cloud in the sky to the everlasting space in which you are. When you hear the next tap of the bell, allow yourself to take a long and deep inhalation. And with your exhale, chant a loving Om. And simply give yourself to your own action of releasing this powerful cord of love. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you. It's always a nice one when it goes by like that. Now, don't forget to hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed, and we'll dive right into the question. I really enjoyed this one. Got this one earlier, and it is, sorry, I gotta pull it up. How do you remain in peace outside of meditation? One of my favorites. Um, and I think the coolest thing about this one is because it really just depends on what you enjoy. Now, personally, I've found that even in expressions of frustration or dealing with other people that clearly just are not acting in love and their own self interest, things still come up. I think that's one thing that needs to be clear about this, but there's a difference between expressing yourself and holding on to it. When you live knowing that these phenomena are but those clouds in the sky, you just let them pass by. You're not holding on to it. In my own personal practice, I love to take a breath. I also use a few different mantras that I've written, or poems, whatever you want to call them. And, I'll say those to myself internally. And then there's even times if I have like a coin or a little fidget thing where I'll use whatever action it is in that moment to be my kind of direction of praise, if you want to call it that. And that's the kind of double, I guess not really double-edged sword, but I guess that's the twofold coin that is meditation, that there is an action and there's the being forms of meditation. If you haven't checked that out yet, I have a video on this concept, so you might want to watch that. But it's this concept of what we're doing here. This was the being form of meditation, just resting as you are. But the goal of meditation is to obviously be in this state of harmony at all times. So when you're living, it's important to kind of approach it like a meditation if you want to really utilize the resting form. Because in this time, this is when you get the downloads, when you're sitting there chanting, doing whatever your intention is. That's usually when you receive the information. And when you're living in life, that's when you kind of get the opportunity to gain the battle experience, so to speak. You always learn more through application. And that's one of the cool things about this aspect is to remain in your own peace, you have to experiment and discover what really brings you back to this state of emptiness, of calm, of harmony. And that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to focus on this one tonight, because it's incredibly important for each of us to come to understand and ultimately come to terms with life is never going to meet your expectations. But if you don't have any expectations and you live freely in this moment like you do in meditation, you flow with it, you respond to it rather than react to it. And no matter what happens, you can still express yourself as you are. And that's the beauty of it. That's the real peace that comes from meditation. So peace is something that, again, it's almost a subjective thing. A peaceful situation can be completely different for various people. And that's the importance of coming to understand the calm within yourself. Is, again, it doesn't really matter what you do to bring yourself back to that knowing. It's whatever works for you. But the key is you have to kind of bring yourself back. So if you remember at the beginning of the meditation, it was like if you find your mind wandering, just pull it back. That's the same thing in life. So to sum it all up and wrap it all up to how do I maintain peace living without meditation, I kind of don't, because I try to approach life as that living meditation. Because what's the point of doing all the other work if you're not going to apply it in the living world? And that's the biggest kind of point for everyone as we move forward in this kind of era of transition and transformation is you have to find what works for you. That's the magic. You know, it's all a game of you. What works for me works for others, but it doesn't work for everybody. But we have to understand what brings us the calm, what allows us to let go, what reminders, what words, images, whatever it is that will trigger us to come back to that aha recognition of the past, knowing of our pureness. And again, to remain in that peace is to live our truth and dance our dance. And I really just want to say, if you're having struggles with that stuff, it gets easier. It doesn't matter what you deal with people. When you learn who you are, you know what resonates with your heart and you know what doesn't. So I guess we'll just wrap it up with that. So, as always, may the fruit of knowledge offer a seed, and in that seed may your love, will, and intuition give life and nourishment. For a tree shall grow, and in its shade may you find peace, and offer peace to all who ask. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you. And as always, I love you so much. Thank you for joining tonight. But again, remember, you are this space of emptiness within you. You are the silence and the calm. Again, you're the witness, looking at all the thoughts, the emotions, the physical sensations, and you're even looking at all the stuff outside of the body. You're experiencing that too. But the key with everything in life is that you're experiencing it. You're looking through your inner space out into the world, and you're experiencing the world coming back through the inner space. And in order to live with the intimacy of now, in order to bring out that inner child again and to heal yourself, you gotta let go and simply rediscover the emptiness and space that is ever present within you. When you're in the flow, when you're in the zone, it's because there's nothing else going on in here. You're in that intimacy with this moment we call now. And that's what life's all about. So tap into yourself. And again, I love you so much. Have a great evening, and I'll see you next time. Sunday will be a great one. So have a great one. I love you so much. Bye. Well, peace.